Hello Internet, my name is Vic, and I have officially been on testosterone for 1 month and 1 day. I wanted to film this on my actual month, but I had work, and yeah, I'm off today, so what better thing to do than to make an update. So there's two things I want to talk about. Well, two topics that I want to talk about in this update of being on testosterone for a month. Obviously, I want to go over the physical changes. I know you can find a million different videos on the worldwide internet talking about physical changes that come with hormones. But for me personally, I think it's important to touch on these because every person's journey and experience is different. Everyone has a different dosage, everyone has different reactions, everyone has different changes that happen at different times. I can't tell you how many 1 month videos I've watched. I can't tell you how many 1 week on testosterone videos I've watched just to compare. And I know you shouldn't compare your journey with other people, but that's what I did. I wanted to see who was further along than who. It sounds terrible, but as someone who waited to be on hormones for a while, I am very eager and I'm very impatient when it comes to changes that have been happening or haven't been happening. So, energy. So, I know everyone's different. There's some guys who were on testosterone for a month and had a full beard. Now, whether or not that's genetics or they were using minoxidil or, Rogaine or whatever is beyond me. Everyone's different. So I want to talk about my physical changes and what they are or have been, just for reference. There may be other trans guys out there who want to see what my personal physical changes are, and then further down the line, I can look back at this video and see what's different, and then I also want to talk about the mental aspect of being on testosterone. So those are the two ones I want to hit. Hopefully I have enough storage in my phone to make this one consecutive video. That's why I'm going to be kind of talking fast, but I do want to hit certain points and elaborate on certain things that I've noticed. So, before I jump into this, I do want to say that there are 2 apps that I downloaded that have helped me. The first one is Trans Tracks. I'll put a picture somewhere up here of the icon, but you can, I have an Android, I don't have an iPhone, but it might be for iPhone as well, but it's called Trans Tracks, and it's basically a day by day. You can put milestones in there of each day of things that you notice. You can upload pictures for a body gallery and pictures for a face gallery. So you can look back through, you can put key dates, like you can put when you start HRT, you can put when your voice drops, you can put when you notice that your shoulders are broad, you can put when your beard starts growing, you know what I mean? Like it's just different things broken down, and it helps me keep track of the days, Right now it's pretty easy to keep track of the days, but I know like further along in my transition it's going to be harder to know, okay, how long have I been on testosterone now? You know what I mean? So that's a really good app to use to kind of document your progress. And then there's also Voice Pitch Analyzer, which I've been using, where you record a snippet of like a novel or something, or you can just say whatever you want and you record it, and it picks up on the frequencies of your tone, and it shows if it's in a feminine, androgynous, or male range, and it kind of shows your spikes in your range of vocal whatever in like stuff. There's like a chart, and it's cool. You can record as often or as little as you like, and it shows a timeline, and it has kind of where your voice is on a scale of frequencies, and it kind of shows where your range is. I've just been doing that to kind of see where my voice drops are. Again, I'm very eager. A lot of these changes that people have pointed out about me, I haven't noticed or I didn't acknowledge until a few days later, and I was like, hey, look at this. And Vanessa especially, she'd be like, I pointed that out to you like 3 days ago and you wanted to deny it. And I'm like, oh, well, you were right. But the thing about it is, every day before I get in a shower, I'll look in the mirror and I will like get all close. I'll take pictures with flash in the dark so I can see my facial hair or hair that's growing. I will overanalyze and examine myself because I just want to see something, you know what I mean? And it's just, I'm so eager. And I know there's a lot of guys out there who are on waiting lists for hormones, and I probably shouldn't be talking like I'm impatient, but I am impatient because I'm finally on testosterone, and that's something I have to keep reminding myself daily is I'm on testosterone. I need to look at it that way, but instead I'm like, where's my voice drop? Where's my beard? Where's this? Where's that? Because my thing is I'm so concerned, and I know it doesn't matter. Passing does not determine whether or not you're really male or you're really female. That doesn't determine anything. Just because you pass or don't pass to society doesn't mean you're not, the gender that you identify with or the gender you don't identify with, non-binary. That doesn't determine anything. I know that. However, I've always wanted to pass as male. Not necessarily cis, because I am proud of being trans. I've done a lot of thinking about whether or not I wish I was cis. And I don't wish I was cis. I do like the fact that I'm trans. I'm proud to be trans. But I do wish that people wouldn't misgender me as often as they do. I get misgendered a lot. And some of you may watch my videos and follow me on social media and wonder why I get misgendered a lot. Don't worry, I'm in the same boat. I don't know why. I don't see anything feminine about myself. Most of my friends don't see anything feminine about me. If you know me, my personality isn't really feminine. The way I carry myself isn't really feminine. I don't know, but customers at my job misgender me all the time. And I don't know if it's because they don't know me, so they just base everything off of first judgment or first appearance or voice, or they're just uneducated, you know what I mean? So I try not to let it get to me, but it does happen a lot. And I think once I start passing, once my voice gets deeper, once I get more of the facial hair going on, I think I'll pass more and I'll become more like, okay, I'm good. Because this past month has been really tough for me. I've had to work a lot more with customers, and a lot like one-on-one. Usually I'm not around customers as much. I'm more towards the back of the restaurant. But lately I've had to be kind of in the customer's face because we're short-staffed, so I've had to pick up slack in those areas. And you want to talk about being misgendered every single day by every single customer in a row. And I struggle with correcting people. I struggle really hard with that because it's the confidence I lack. And I know I'm a man. I know. But it's just the confidence, and I feel like as soon as I correct somebody, they're going to be looking harder to see, are you sure? You know what I mean? It's just, I know it's this internal dysphoria that I'm battling, and it's this constant, weight that I have pushing down on my shoulders, and I know it may not be even that big of a deal, but to me, it's rough, and my dysphoria has been really bad lately. And even though I'm on testosterone, and I didn't think that being on T would take that away. I didn't think that being on testosterone would just take my dysphoria and just throw it away somewhere. I knew that it was going to linger. And I knew that it was going to, stick around a little bit, especially this early in on hormones. I knew it wasn't just going to go away after a month, but there was that wishful thinking in the back of my head. I was like, maybe my voice is going to just substantially just drop and that'll be it. Because I think that's the one thing that most people misgender me for is my voice. It's not that high, but then again, it's not really, really low. It's just kind of in the androgynous range. And that's what I'm getting on the vocal pitch analyzer app. It's mainly androgynous. It's not really high, but it's not really low. So I think that's where it comes in. I look young for my age, so whether people think I'm a female or I'm a 12-year-old boy, either way, I'd take the 12-year-old boy any day, because at least then I'm a boy. But enough about my dysphoria and my daily mental struggles. Let's get into some of these changes. So after being on testosterone for 1 month, and I had my first testosterone shot November 26th of this year. November 27th, literally the night of. Now, I took my first shot at 8 at night, and all my other shots I've taken at 8 in the morning, around there. It was just easier for my work schedule and everything. Instead of having to wait all the way until I got off work, if I worked that day, I just took it in the morning, and I've been taking in the morning. I've taken 5 shots. So 4 out of the 5 shots I've taken around the same time every day. But overnight, I woke up and I had to pee. So I went to the bathroom, and of course I woke up at like 4 a.m., knowing me. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I went to the bathroom and I peed, and I'm half asleep. And I go to wipe, and I'm like, that feels different. And yeah. So, I'm going to put a trigger warning, content warning, whatever you want to call it in the beginning, but content warning, I'm going to be talking about my lower region. And I'm going to say the word once. I know it's going to make people dysphoric, but I'm just saying it once so people who are not trans can understand what I'm talking about, because I have quite a few people who watch these videos that are cis and just want to educate, want to learn. So, hello. So when you take testosterone, you're going to have some clitoral growth. Okay, that's it. I'm not using it anymore. From now on, I will refer to it as my dick. So my dick grew, and so overnight, literally engorged overnight, and it's continued to grow. It's not like super big or anything. It's just, it's there and it's prominent. So that happened overnight, and I was kind of shocked. I was like, whoa, that fast? Like, has it even been able to be in my system and process? No. It's just, bam. My body was like, oh, what's up, testosterone? What are you doing in here? It's about time. So then, December 3rd, my sides started to fill in. So I've always had, unfortunately, a Coke bottle shape. Ever since I hit puberty in high school. I hit puberty really late. When I was like 16, I hit puberty. So in high school, I always had like a Coke bottle shape where I dipped in at my hips, like right over my hips. I dipped in a whole lot and then curved back out. I've always had a booty, and it's there. So I did the Coke bottle shape, hourglass, Coke bottle. I don't even know the other ones, but I always had that shape. I used to get complimented on it, and I used to hate it. It used to drive me crazy because I didn't like having that shape. I wanted to be more barrel-chested, more of a keg, just round or solid, not, I don't even know the words to describe it. So my sides started to really fill in, and they haven't, the dip hasn't gone away yet. And I don't think it ever will, because that's just my waist. But this is a lot more, it used to, if I suck in, it kind of looks like it did. My belly button looks weird. It used to go in like this. I'm sucking in right now. But if I this used to dip in way more. But now it's not as dipped in. So I'm filling in. And the fat redistribution is over the course of a year on testosterone. Like, it really takes that long. Now I've started to like gain weight in different places, and I've been eating a lot more. That was another one of like the very first things that I noticed. Let's see, sorry. So, I kind of need to back up because I didn't like actually, this is like my journal. So at first, I haven't really written in here. At first, I started like writing every like other day because I was so excited. And I'm still excited, do not get me wrong, but this dysphoria has really like kicked me in the ass. So I haven't mentally been able to sit down and write, because usually when I write, it's negative. But these couple of journal entries were positive. So I'm going to rewind a little bit. But I... So, back in November, like 29th-ish, my sex drive, or libido, like skyrocketed. So, and my sex drive has always really been high. I've always been one of those people who is always thinking about sex. Sorry, not sorry. But it skyrocketed in a different way. Like, yeah, I still think about sex, but I think about it a lot more like in depth, and I get a lot more turned on randomly, and it's just kind of weird because then I get a tingly sensation in my dick, and that's never happened before because I didn't have the growth there. So now that I have the growth, it's kind of like getting an erection. It's odd. I mean, I like it, but it's odd. You know, it's different. And also my hunger went way up. I always joke around with my coworkers and say I got the big boy hunger, but I really do. The other day I went to Wendy's and I got a double, and I scarfed that bitch down in like 5 seconds. Like, I swear to God, I've never been able to eat a double from there. Like, I can eat the singles, no problem. A Baconator if I'm feeling it. But like, I've never been able to eat a whole double without hating myself. But I was actually hungry still after I ate the double. And all this food that I'm consuming and eating, it's going different places, I've noticed. It's not just going where it used to go before I had testosterone in my system. It's actually going different places. I'm getting thicker in different places, especially my stomach, like my sides, not my stomach. I'm not getting like a gut. I'm just filling out. So that's pretty cool. The 29th of November also, I started my menstruation. Now, I knew that was going to happen. I was kind of expecting to have one more, and I don't know, I might have another one, because if you watch my menstruation video in my XY Chronicles, you would know that my cycle isn't exactly normal. It's not exactly monthly. Sometimes it's every 2 months, sometimes it's every 3 months, because of that experience I had. Whoa. So, I don't know, I might be having another one, but I'm really hoping that that was my last one, but who knows. So, I did start, but it didn't last as long, and I didn't have as much cramps, and it wasn't as heavy as it usually is. That might have been TMI, but whatever. So, but I knew it was gonna happen. I did, and it didn't really, like, yes, I get dysphoric when it happens and when it's Shark Week, but no, I wasn't as dysphoric as I usually am. I think it was just because I knew I'm on testosterone, and it's not gonna, like, really, you know, like, it's not gonna last that long. It's part of it. My body was probably like, okay, we're just gonna get rid of the rest of this fucking estrogen overload. Let's just get it out now through the ovaries, you know. So maybe that's why. But yeah. So my appetite and sex drive were definitely higher. My voice was another thing that has kind of been fluctuating. It hasn't had this extreme like crack and like squeaky sound yet that a lot of guys on T talk about in the first couple of months, where their voice is like drastically like pitchy and all over the place, like puberty. But my voice, it's weird. With my voice, I kind of already went through vocal puberty twice, like way before like I was in my 20s. When I went through my first puberty, my voice actually got deeper. And then I went through another weird, odd, awkward vocal puberty, where my voice was cracky and pitchy and all over the place, and then it just stayed low. It just stayed low. And so my voice hasn't really been doing that at all. I know in the first couple of weeks of being on testosterone, my throat was kind of scratchy, almost like I had a sore throat, or like I was recovering from a sore throat, so it was kind of like iffy. And sometimes when I wake up in the morning, it's hard for me to actually talk because my voice is like still sleeping, like it's not fully there yet. And there's some moments where when I'm singing, my voice will go in and out. But I can still sing. I haven't lost the ability to sing. So that's good. I was kind of worried about that. But yeah, so anyway, back to where we were. On the 4th of December, my body hair started filling in on my legs. Now, my legs have always been, oh Lord, this is some aerobics. I don't even know if you can see, but my legs are hairy. And I stopped shaving my legs when I first came out as trans. Back in March of 2015, I just stopped shaving my legs. I started taking 1 a day men's vitamins, which have biotin in them. And you take 2 a day, even though it's 1 a day. False advertisement, I guess. But you take 2 a day, and it has biotin in it. And biotin makes your hair and nails grow. And my hair on my head grows super fast anyway. I can shave my head, like buzz it, and it'll be back within a month and a half. At least like, not fully spiky, but it'll be back. So, I've always had very thick, fluffy hair. So I knew my body hair was going to be thicker and darker and fluffier. Everybody on my side of the family is hairy. The women, the men, everyone is hairy. We're just hairy. So I knew that that wasn't going to be an issue. That's why I'm really like, I'm going to have a beard soon. I know it. I feel it in my face. So my leg hair and my armpit hair, I've been growing that out since March 2015. So that's cool. But I never had hair. I mean, I had hair, like peach fuzz hair on my thighs. But now the hair on my thighs is starting to get darker and thicker. And there's patches on my legs where I don't have leg hair, and I think it's from where my pants kind of rub. But they've started filling in, like the little gaps and stuff have started filling in with leg hair too. So that's super great. Also, when I'm naked, which I'm not going to be getting for you, no offense, but not there yet. If I'm about to get in the shower, like I said, I investigate and inspect all the shit in the mirror before I get in the shower. I have a prominent V that's coming in where my hips, in the front, there's a prominent V shape, which I love because I've always wanted a V shape. I don't really care about the 6-pack and all that. You can have that, but I want the V shape because let's just be honest. It's hot, and I want to be hot. At least down there. Or around there, you know what I mean? So, but, yeah, so, and then, there's that tickle I'm talking about. And then, the 8th of December, there's more hair growth, but this time, okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I'm going to put pictures in the video so you can see, but, right here, I mean, and I recently cut my hair, so you can't really tell, but right here, there's like hair that was not there before. And it's like not peach fuzz, it's dark black hair connecting from the back of my hairline over under my ears. It just came out of nowhere. And I can feel it, like I can feel it when I run my finger over it. I can feel it. I don't know if you can see it in this lighting, but I will be putting pictures. So, that's cool. But, and then there was also stubble. Now, I've always had sideburns because I used to shave, even before I came out as trans, I used to shave the sides of my face just because, like, everybody was shaving everything. So I was like, I'm going to shave everything. So I used to shave right here and right here before I learned how to pluck my eyebrows. But, so this used to always be like peach fuzz stubble, but not like thick, like prickly stubble. Now, it's more prickly than it was. And it goes all the way down. but it's especially thick from like here to where the bottom of my jawline is. I noticed that. And, you know, right here. So, yeah. 16th of December, my muscles are more defined. Now, when I'd say my muscles, I've always had like more, I picked the perfect video to wear a hoodie where I can't show you my muscles, but you don't need to see my muscles, it's alright. But back here, these muscles right here never used to really be that prominent. It was always my biceps, but now these are like really defined. They're very defined, and that's nice, you know, so that's stronger. And I've noticed that I'm stronger. Picking up stuff at work that used to kind of make me struggle. Now, I'm not saying it's not heavy, but like pork shoulders come 3 in a box. They're 19 pounds a piece. Sometimes those boxes are like 62 pounds. There's bags of potatoes that are range between 50 and 75 pounds. You know, and I used to kind of grunt and struggle picking them up from the ground and putting them on a cart. But now I kind of just do it. And it's not a struggle. And some of you may be like, well, that might be from you doing it multiple times in a row. No, not really. I'm not usually in that position every single time I work because I'm a manager. I kind of float everywhere. But when I do work in those positions and when I do lift those things, it's way easier now. So I know my muscles are redistributing, especially like in my arms and stuff, which is cool. Hair on my upper arms and thighs are coming in way darker by the 16th. I noticed them on the 4th, but by the 16th they had really started like fast. And my breast tissue or fat was reducing when I took my binder off. Where did that come from? When I took my binder off, I guess the 16th, I noticed that my chest was a lot, God, I can't think of the word for it. The mass wasn't as mass. It was more like loose. Like my skin was looser and just like deflated, I guess would be a good way to describe it. I don't know. It felt like less weight there. And I think it's part of the redistribution. I don't know. But that was pretty awesome. And my voice was more noticeably deeper. So one of my managers at work, when I work on the back line, I put food up on the tray and I say, order up. So food runners can run the food. So I put something up there and we're busy. It's during the middle of a rush. So I put something up there and I said, order up. And sometimes I'll think about how deep my voice is at work. Like if we're not really busy and I'm like, okay, make your voice deep. You know, like it started to come natural because when I first came out, I used to get misgendered a lot more than I do now. But I still got misgendered a metric fuck ton. So I was like, I'm going to purpose to train my voice to be deeper. And I did. And I trained it to be deeper. And so now I don't really know what my natural voice sounds like because a lot of the time I will try and make my voice deeper. Especially when I'm around people I don't know too well or like customers or people I don't really hang out with all the time except when I see them at work. So I'll try and purpose to make my voice deeper. I really do it around a lot of my guy friends. And I think it's just a subconscious thing. I just want to appear like, yeah, I'm a dude, you know. And I know that my guy friends, they're not like, you know, I know that they accept me for who I am and stuff, but it's just like a subconscious thing. Like I want to be seen as male. I don't want anyone to ever see me and be like, yeah, he used to be a female. You know what I mean? Like I don't ever want that. So I guess I subconsciously lower my voice without even really thinking about it. But sometimes, like Vanessa pointed this out to me. We've talked about it a little while ago, but she said, do you ever, you know, do you feel like you have to like be a certain way around me, or do you feel like you have to lower your voice around me, or you feel like you have to act a certain way around me? And I said, no, I feel completely comfortable and open and vulnerable with her in a good way. Like, I don't feel like I'm forced to be open and vulnerable, but I feel like I can be. And I kind of drop the whole, like, facade and the whole, you know, front of, like, oh, big and bad. You know, like, I'm soft around her. And she was like, your voice is a little bit higher when you're around me and just me. You know, but if we're hanging out with a group of people, I notice that you carry yourself different, you walk different, you talk different. And it's not because you're trying to front or you're trying to be someone you're not. It's just because that's how you're trying to be in society, you know, and it's different. And she wasn't saying it in a bad way or a negative way. She was just asking to ask, and I appreciated that. But I think when I'm around her, I do use my natural voice a lot more. And right now, this is my natural voice. I can honestly say that, because I'm not trying to talk deep like this. This is me trying to talk deep. And it wears me out after a while, because my voice just gets strained and stressed, and just eventually my voice is going to go back to its normal setting of being a little bit higher. But see, that's me making my voice deep. This is me talking normal, and it has gotten a little bit deeper. So anyway, long story short, I put the food on the tray and I said, order up. And I went back to what I was doing. And my operations manager looked at one of my co-worker managers. Like, we have ranks and hierarchy and whatever. But he looked at her and he was like, has his voice gotten deeper? Because he doesn't come around every single day. He doesn't work with me every single day. He works with me maybe like 2 or 3 days out of the week. So like, he hadn't been there in a few days, and he had just come back, and he looked at her and he was like, has his voice gotten deeper? Like, what is going on? And she was like, yeah, his voice has gotten deeper. And so like, he told me that, and I was just like, oh my God. And he was like, by next week your voice is gonna be as deep as mine. And I was like, oh my God, what if it is, man? Don't get me excited here. Like, I want my voice to be that deep. And then one of my other coworkers, like, she was like, I didn't know who was saying order up. I thought it was somebody else, but it was you? That was you? And I was like, yeah, that was me. And she was like, are those hormones you're taking making your voice deeper? And I was like, yes, it is, yes. And like, the fact that other people are noticing that, like, aren't, like, they're my friends and stuff, like, yeah, but they're not like asking me every single day, like, how's your hormones? How's your hormones? Have you seen any changes? You know, they're just like going through day by day with me too. And they're not like up my ass about it, which is awesome. I'd rather people not ask every single day. So the fact that she picked up on it, but hadn't been asking me about all the changes and stuff, but the fact that she just picked up on it and brought it up on her own accord, that means that the change is actually there. And that's when I'm like, and I get all smiley and shit, and everyone's like, oh, look at you. And I'm just like, stop it. Just let me have my moment. So yeah, that's the thing. So my voice is getting deeper. It's just, it hasn't done that like drop yet, but I'm waiting for the drop. And I'm waiting to wake up one day and talk, and everyone to be like, who the fuck are you? I'm becoming the man I've always been meant to be. Victor. I'm just kidding. I'm not changing my name to Vicar. Victor. Holy shit, I can't speak. Okay. So this video is like at 32 minutes, and I'm worried it's going to just cut off. So I'm like really starting to talk fast. So I apologize for that. But let's keep going. So the 20th of December, Vanessa said she noticed that my Adam's apple is prominent now. It's sticking out. I've always had kind of a more prominent Adam's apple.